Okay, let's do this second example. So we still are talking about the math SAT, and we still had a mean of 516 and a standard deviation of 116. Now it wants to know what scores separate the middle 80% from the bottom and top 10%. So here's what we have. So our mean is here. And we have one x value here. We'll call it x1. And we have a second x value here that we'll call x2. And we know that between them is 80%. Now, this problem told us that the top and the bottom were 10% each, but how would we know that otherwise if they didn't tell us? So we need to figure out this piece and this piece, the pieces I've shaded in yellow. So remember, the whole thing is 1, so I can do 1 minus 0.80, which gives me 0.20. So there's 0.20 left over. Now this is where the symmetry comes in. Because it's symmetrical, we need to have the same amount in each of those tails. So we take the amount that's left over and divide it by 2. So that's how we get that each of our little yellow pieces is 10%. Now, when we have this situation, we need to do 2 separate problems. So the first problem is find x1. So to find x1, we have our picture again with 516 in the middle. And we put x1, and we know that the area to the left of it, so this little piece, is 10%. So all we have to do is say that it is the inverse norm. Remember, when the calculator asks for area, it wants area to the left. So that's 0.10. The mean is 516. The standard deviation is 116. So if we plug that into the calculator, we get second vars number 3. Area is 0.10. The mean and the standard deviation are the same. So paste and enter. So we get 367. I forgot. 367.34. So 367.34, which will just make 367 because we said the scores were in whole numbers. Now, to find x2, we have another picture with 516 in the middle. And x2 is on the right, to the right of the mean. And we know that the area to the right of it is 0.10. Remember though, the calculator needs area to the left side. So we do 1 minus 0.10, which gives us 0.90. So to find x2, it's inverse norm of 0.90, the mean of 516, and the standard deviation of 116. And when we do that and round to a whole number, we get 665. So the two scores that separate the middle 80% are 367 and 665. So I think you should know everything that you need to know to do this mixed practice section. Be aware that there are all the types of problems that we've covered in Chapter 7. So make sure you graph them, draw your picture, and then round your probabilities to 4 decimal places and round the values of random variables to 2 decimal places. So read the problems carefully. Carefully. Try them on your own, and I will make another video doing these examples. Maybe 2 videos, depending on how long the explanations take. So again, try these on your own, read carefully. Some of them are normal, some of them are uniform, some of them ask you to find probabilities, and some ask you to find the value of the random variable. So, good luck. I will see you guys in the next video to go over these problems.